discussing yesterday about what is a female reproductive system. And as we all know, mammalian female reproductive system is composed of two endocrine organs, or what we call as gonads, ovaries, pair of oviducts, and you can see that there are ostium, or these are the female. They are for the purpose of, consuming or picking up the ovas when liberated from the ovary. Besides that, when you talk about the system as such, there is a uterus, cervix, and the vagina. So all these parts are composed as female reproductive system. Now here, the two regions are shown or depicted in the picture of this uterus. That is, the upper region is the fundus and this region is the corpus. Fundus is a very important region because it takes the implantation of the fetus over there. Now the question comes, what is the chief or the most important organ of the reproductive system? What are we going to see here? Because we are learning endocrinology. So, the ovaries, what we are describing, are the endocrine organs, and they are assigned two major functions. One function is gametogenesis, as you can see that they are giving rise to follicles, and another is endocrinogenesis. This is a very important term I am using, students. Genesis is a production. So endocrinogenesis means ovary is playing a key role in releasing hormones. Of course, it is governed by the pituitary and the hypothalamus, as I have already discussed that the reproductive system of the female is run by hypothalamo-hypophyseal axis. But the ovary itself, by releasing hormones, what I refer as endocrinogenesis, is controlling overall the cycles in the female reproductive life or the system, but also controlling the gametogenesis, that means the formation of the gamete, what we describe as ova. So it is a intertwining kind of activity performed by the ovary, which is a major reproductive apparatus or an organ of a female reproductive system. That they are endocrine in nature and they are reproductive in nature. They produce a gamete, so they are taking part or process of gametogenesis and also hormonogenesis or endocrinogenesis. Now, this dual role of the ovary is very important in knowing and learning the further aspects of the reproductive system of females. But before that, one should know that how the ovary is, as you can see in the picture also, which is depicted on the board, that ovary is nothing but a kind of a composite organ, and it is covered by a very thin kind of membrane-like structure that is called as meso-ovarium, and it is divided into two parts. One is an epithelial region part of the ovary, and another is a mesenchymal region which performs or becomes the part of an interstitial tissue of the ovary. If you cut this ovary, if you cut this ovary, then you are going to see the two parts of the ovary. The outer one is a cortex, ovarian cortex, and inner one is the medullary part, and that is the interstitial tissue part, which plays a great role in the release of hormones. Now, if you see the ovary of a newly born child, what we call as a neonatal, then you see more than 250,000 or so kind of ovarian follicles within the ovary. And they keep on growing throughout the life of the female baby child from the infant time till the menopausal time. So if you see the ovary, you see basically three stages of the gametes, or what we call as a ovarian follicles. They are, number one is a growing stage, another one is a resting stage, and third one is a atretic stage. Under the growing stage, you see all the follicles in growth, right? Like from the primordial, primary, secondary, pre-antral and graphial, so on and so forth. So they see or we found in the growth stage. Second one is the resting, that means these follicles are doing nothing to it. They are just resting throughout their life. If they are selected, if or but by any chance, then they may go further in the process of the genesis, or they may be getting rested throughout the life. And another is an atretic, that is degenerating follicles. So these three kinds of follicles altogether we see in the ovary. Now let us see what are the types of follicles we are going to observe when we dissect, when we take a section of the ovary. We see couple of follicles and the development, that is a folliculogenesis. Folliculogenesis, because we never say ovarian cell or ovarian whatever, the term used is follicle. So ovarian follicles undergo growth and development, and this process of gametogenesis is another word called as folliculogenesis. So the very primitive kind of follicle which we see, which is made up